Hello, how are you?
I'm very well. How are you doing?
I'm great, thank you. How excited are you to be here tonight?
Well, it's very exciting to see it on the big screen. I've seen it, I don't know how big the screen is, but I've seen it on the smaller screen. But I'm really looking forward to seeing it big size, which is how it was filmed, what it was filmed for.
What was your thoughts when you had seen the film, when after doing all that filming of the film, when you saw it yourself, what was your overall outcome of it?
I think what you see on screen is so much more expensive looking than what it actually was, and it's an indie film. There are lots of challenges when you make an indie film, and I think that the filmmakers have overcome those challenges. They've put a lot in on post, which I couldn't even begin to understand what they were doing when we were filming. They would talk about it, but until you see it, you can't really understand what that would be. So I was massively impressed by that, and I think it looks like a much more expensive film than it actually is, and it works really well. It all comes together, it hangs together, and it looks great.
Well, the trailer looks amazing, and it does look very high budget, futuristic.
It really does. It's managed to sell itself much higher level than it is, which I think is brilliant, and it's kind of the little film that can. It's taking a while, but the momentum is continuing and building, and it's getting better and better.
So could you tell me a bit more about your character?
Oh, my character. So my character is Claire Rivers. She is a writer who's suffering from writer's block, and she goes into a writer's retreat, where she's looked after by an she's looked after by an AI robot, kind of. Anyway, things go wrong, and Claire is locked in. Now, we shot this in 2019, so long before lockdown was even a thing. No one knew what that expression was, lockdown. So there we are, filming this at a time when no one really understood it, and then it became really relevant to now because of what we've all gone through, and I think that's part of the reason why it's taken so long for this film to actually hit the screens and be out there. So Claire goes through writer's block. She goes through a sense of discovery about who she really is, her past, without giving anything away. She discovers her past and how it informs who she is, and she has, I think anyone being locked in, as we all know, you discover things about yourself, and that's what Claire, my character, goes through. But she's also going up against the AI, who's called Rita, played by Heather Reed. So my character goes through this enormous arc and this enormous self-discovery and introspection and isolation. It's a fascinating role.
What were the highs and the lows of filming this? And also, great preparation, like you said about the lockdown thing, for when you did go into lockdown.
Yeah, I did spend, there's a few scenes where I'm bashing against the window trying to get out, and I'm trying to find my way out. I think the highs for me personally, and I can only speak for me, were actually the working with Heather Reed and working with Natalie Kennedy as a director and working on the scenes, the three of us. I love doing that, picking them apart, expanding them, finding out what's really going on, getting into the nitty-gritty. I love that process. I think some of the lows were, it was a challenging location. It was sometimes challenging because of the budget, but we overcame them. What drew you to the scripts? Obviously, you've mentioned quite a lot about it, but what really stood out for you and why you wanted to be a part of this? I think it was an immediate response to even the opening few pages about it was two women, central characters for a start. That was great. And although the other character, Rita, is an AI, their conversations are still quite interesting. Like I say, the journey that Claire goes on, my character goes on, and the journey, the arc of what she goes through is enormous. It's so much to dig into, so much to explore. Some of it which didn't even make the screen, unfortunately, but still informs my process of expanding it and pulling it apart and getting into the nitty-gritty of it. I loved that, and I think Stephen Herman, the writer, did an amazing job for that.
I also have to ask, obviously, one of your iconic roles on the L Word. Did you ever get a chance to watch any of the reboot of the new series? Watch the reboot of the newer series?
Oh, I watched a bit of it. I watched the first first couple of episodes and really enjoyed it. I mean, it's a shame. Hopefully there'll be the next iteration that we can look forward to, and who knows what will happen. I mean, long may they live. Let's not cancel any more gays. That's what I say.
And then lastly, what can we expect from you in 2024?
In 2024, I'm working a lot on podcasts at the moment. Pod Diva I work on a lot. There's lots of, like I say, different audio that I'm working towards, so that's great. Let's see what happens. And also there's a show called Cora, which is on Netflix at the moment, which I shot in India. So that's something to look out for.
Amazing. Well, I'll definitely check it out. Thank you so much for your time, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Thank you.